Yun nga. Okay, madaling araw pa. Time check 4:06. Tapusin ko na. Tapos matulog din lang ako ng alas 12 doon. Okay, let's proceed to the continuance of the topic earlier. Let's proceed to our metallurgy as applied to crime detection. Ano ba ibig sabihin pag sinabing metallurgy? Ibig sabihin, the art of extracting and working on metals made by the application of chemical and physical knowledge. Ibig sabihin, kumukuha tayo ng metals, di ba? May tinatanggal tayong metals or chemicals sa metals na ginagamitan natin ng chemical and physical knowledge. Halimbawa yung acetone. Yan, nilalagyan natin sila ng mga nilalagyan natin yung bakal para mawala yung tinta. Paint sa bakal. Ano tinatawag na metallurgy? Based on my understanding. Sa metallography naman, it's a branch of metallurgy that involves the study of microstructure or metals of alloy. Dito naman sa metallography, dito ay naaral ang microstructures of metals and alloy. Yan. Application of metallurgy in criminal investigation. Diyan yung robbery, theft, hit and run, bomb and explosion, restoration of tampered SIM number. Yan, ginagamit din siya sa restoration of tampered serial number. Meron kasi ginagamit. Iniiba nila yung cases number ng motor, ng sasakyan, yan, para hindi na ma-check o sakali mga ipaparehistro nila. Net examination, ginagamit din ang metallurgy examination and counterfeited coins. Yan yung mga pag-making ng pera. Paano mo malalaman pag counterfeited ng coins? Ano pa? Yan, examination. Pwede rin dyan. Counterfeit coins are coins made to imitate the real things and used for gain. Paano dyan yung cash coins? False made in molds. Struck coins, coins made by stamping or striking method are coins made to imitate the real thing and used for gain. Pag gas coin, ginagamit lang ito pang mold. Pag struck coins, ginagamit ito sa stamping or striking. Dito na tayo sa soil. Pag sinabi nating soil, petrography as applied to crime detection. Pag sinabi natin petrography, is a branch of geology that deals with the systematic classification and identification of rock forming minerals and soil. Ito ay branch ng geology. Kung saan inaaral ang iba't ibang classification at identification ng isang pagkakauri ng isang bato at kung ano ang mga minerals at mga lupa na nasa bato na yun. Pag tayo sa soil, lumabas sa long quiz namin nakaraan. Type of soil, alluvial soil. Sinabi natin alluvial soil, alluvial soil formed from soil particles that were washed, blown, or moved by gravity to the lowlands. Ibig sabihin, alluvial soil, yung mga nalalaglag sa mga lands, yung mga malapit sa kalsada na ng mga buwa, ng mga bato, ay ng mga lupa. Mostly example ay yung pag nagkaroon ng landslide, alluvial soil, landslide. Alluvial soil formed from the decomposition of igneous, metamorphic or sedimentary rock the decomposed particles move bring the gravity. No, mali yung example ko. Sa colluvial, dyan pala ang landslide. Sa alluvial, ay tuwing umuulan. Wash yung umuulan. Sedentary soil. Pag sinabi natin sedentary soil, inactive at migratory soil. O, nandito rin si igneous rock, constituents of soil. Igneous rock produced by volcanic or intense heat. Nagmumula ito sa mga bulkan. Merong sobrang init na bato na galing sa bulkan, nilalabas siya ng bulkan. Igneous rock. Kapag sinabi ng metamorphic rock, had underground change in structure, texture, through pressure, heat, and chemical reaction like limestone into marble. Yan, metamorphic rock. Change in structure, texture, through pressure, heat, and chemical. Pag sinabi naman natin sedimentary rock, sandstone rock formed by sediments. Density gradient apparatus is being used in crime laboratory, which quantitatively distinguish particle of characteristic appearance or property, improving the identity or non-identity depending on whether the distribution found in two soils are the same or different. And yung density gradient apparatus, inaalam nito yung particles or characteristic appearance ng isang properties. Density gradient apparatus na ginagamit siya sa laboratory, crime lab. O yan, nandito na tayo sa dust and dirt. Pag sinabi natin dust and dirt, ayun yung mga matters na nasa wrong place. Pag sinabi naman natin dust, matter which is dry and finely divided form. Ayan. Pag dust, alikabok, dry. Pag mud naman, ayan, putik. Dust mixed with water. Kumbaga nahaluan na siya ng tubig, kaya nagiging putik at mud. Grime or heavy dirt. When dust is mixed with sweat and greases of human body, this is formed. Yan, grime. Yung alikabok, yan, nagkaroon na ng langis, nagkaroon na ng pawis. Kaya nabuo ang grime or heavy dirt. Tingnan kung ano saan pa. Patapos na pala to. Hindi ko alam kung papabuti ko ng 3 hours, sabihin ko na lang isang ibang topic yung 1 hour. Okay, classification of dust naman tayo. This classification of dust, meron mo tayong dust deposited from the air. Sabi dito, it is extremely fine dust particle present in the air everywhere. Its value in crime detection is significant. Extremely fine dust particle present in the air everywhere. Kumbaga kahit saan meron nito. Road and footpath dust produced by the wear and tear of the road surface by vehicular and pedestrian traffic together with particles of soil carried by the wind or rain from adjoining regions. And yung ayun yung mga sa tire marks, diba, na may naiwan ng soil sa tire marks nila. Sa industrial dust naman, it is a cement, buton, powder gypsum, plaster of Paris factories, floor miling, paint pigments. Involves industrial processes impart a pronounced local character to the dust of the neighboring roads and buildings. Occupational dust. Occupational dust. Some of the finely powder material may be found on the clothing and footwear of employees engaged in such industry. Ayan. Pag sinabing occupational dust, ayan yung mga makikita sa mga employees. Ayan, sa kanilang mga industries o mga field. Ayan. Ito daw lumabas daw sa board. DNA deoxyribonucleic acid, deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA deoxyribonucleic functionally the hereditary material that contains the genetic information necessary for the population of cells and production of proteins. Yan, ayan pala yung genetic, contains the genetic information necessary for duplication of cells and for the production of proteins. Ayan, ito yung yung biological evidence that becomes needed for the DNA analysis. Ayan, blood stain. Bakit blood and blood stain? Blood stain, kinukumpara siya sa tunay na dugo, diba? Kung saan kinukumpara para malaman kung ito ba'y dugo ng kung ano yung nasa stain na yun. Semen and seminal stain, ganun din naman, inaalam din natin sa pamamagitan ng seminal stain kung ang seminal stain na to ay nagmula talaga kay A o nagmula talaga kay B. Hairs with follicles or root. Yan, may DNA din tayo dyan sa roots natin, pinakadulo. Diba? Ating buhok nakatanim yan sa ulo natin, yung root. Saliva or buccal swab. Yan, sa pamamagitan din ng ating laway. Yan, nakikita yung DNA natin. Bones and organs. Yan. Naging teacher namin dito si Ma'am Rani. Si Ma'am Rani magaling siya magturo. Stricto. Walang nakapagkopyahan dun eh. Walang nakakapagkopyahan dun pag exam. Talagang tutok na tutok siya magbantay. Kaya bilib ako kay ma'am. Mini-maintain niya yung integrity namin that time. Saan pa ba ang ginagamit ng DNA para makatulong? Sexual assault case like rape. Yan, dyan din kasi yung mga yung sperm cell nila eh. Nakikita rin yung DNA nila dun. Murder sa dugo. Homicide sa dugo. Robbery. Yan. Hit and run. Extortion. Paternity case. Identification of province from disaster case. Missing person. Ayoko. Ano? Paternity case. Identification identification of remains from mass disaster cases and missing person. Advantage of DNA. Ano nga ba ang advantage ng DNA? DNA is stable. Ibig sabihin ang stable, diba? Hindi siya walang conflict between them. Pag sinabi naman, DNA can be described from wide variety of biological sources like blood, semen, air, saliva, and bones. DNA can be replicated in the laboratory from a very small amount of initial material to the process of PCR. Yeah. Polymerase chain reaction ay yung tinatawag na PCR polymerase chain reaction. Pwede itong ma-replicate sa laboratory yung DNA natin. DNA shows greater variability from individual to the next. Ibig sabihin, may malaking pagkakaiba, diba? So, pag nagkaroon ng DNA test, may malaking pagkakaiba sa nauna at pangalawang DNA. Ay sinasabi ng advantage nila. Makikita nila agad yung differences. What is DNA typing? Kasi sinabi natin DNA typing is a type. DNA typing is done by first carefully extracting DNA from the evidentiary samples. The DNA is then analyzed to give a particular pattern. The patterns are compared with that of a known individual to determine a match. In individual identification, the pattern obtained from the evidentiary sample is compared with that a suspect. The patterns are different from the evidentiary sample depending that originated from the suspect. Yan, ganun sila. Kung baga pinapartner pa lang nila kung kanino ba talaga ang DNA na yun. Makikita na agad nila. The DNA pattern of the evidentiary sample is similar to that obtained from the suspect. The probability that the evidentiary sample is similar to the sample aroused from the suspect and not from random individual wherein population is calculated from a formula based on well-accepted concept of statistical probabilities and population genetics using established population genetic database. Grabe yung DNA typing, masyado siyang malawak pag inaral. Probability calculation must show that no other person is in the country or in the world would possess such DNA pattern. Expect the suspect, for example. The probability of a matched DNA pattern being present in the Philippines indicates how many people are expected to possess such pattern. If the probability of patterns is 1 or per 2,000, this means that there could be a many 36, 70 million, 20,000 people having a pattern. Therefore, the DNA test is conclusive. However, if DNA pattern has a probability of 1 to 100 million, since there are only almost 80 million people in the Philippines, and then the forensic sample must have come from the suspect. Forensic toxicology na tayo. Yan, hindi na tayo sa toxology. CR lang po ako sa akin. dito na tayo sa toxicology. Sabi sa toxicology is that branch of science that treats of poison, their origin, physical and chemical properties, physiological action and treatment of their noxious effect and methods of detection. The etymology of toxicology came from toxico, that means poison. Toxico, that means poison or lason. Ology, that means study or science. Forensic toxicology. Ibig sabihin, pag may forensic toxicology, ginagamit na siya to solve the case, the administration of justice. Ano ang poison sa technical definition nito? From the medical point of view, medical point of view pala. It is a substance that when introduced into the body and is absorbed to the bloodstream and acting chemically is capable of producing noxious effect. Capable siya to produce noxious effects sa mga tao na nag-take ng poison. Ano ba yung noxious effect? Search natin. It's better talaga na research natin. Yan, harmful, poisonous, detrimental to living organism or environment. Nakakalason talaga. Harmful or injurious. Ayan. Ano yung mga classification ng poison? Classification ng poison according to kingdom, animal, cat and rights. Diyan tayo pwede makakuha na lason, cat and rights. Vegetable, strychnine, mineral, hydrochloric acid. According to chemical properties. Inorganic poison. Inorganic poison without carbon. Volatile. Example niya yung bromine. Non-volatile. Ang example niya ngayon, sulfuric acid. Mineral acid. Yan, example ng HCl. Mineral alkali, e.g. NaOH. Ano naman yung mga organic poison with carbon? Yan, alcohol, alkalies, strychnine din, kabilang din sa organic poison. Animal poison, venom, bacterial, example, tomaine. Organic poison, salicylic acid, glucosides, digitalis. Ano naman yung psychological action ng poison sa body ng tao? Corrosive. Ayun, mabasahin ko It is highly irritant poison that cause local destruction of tissue and characterized by nausea, vomiting, great local distress. Example, strong acid and alkalis. Yan, nakaka-irritang poison. Diba? Sumisira ng tissue ng katawan. Pagsusuka, distress. Ayan yung mga effects ng corrosive. Irritants. Ano pag sinabi natin irritants? Pag sinabi natin irritants, one that produce irritation or inflammation of the mucous membrane and characterized by vomiting pain in the abdomen and purging. Example, arsenic. Irritants. Again, sinabing irritants, one that produce irritation or inflammation of the mucous membrane and characterized by vomiting, pain in the abdomen, and purging ng arsenic. And sa narcotics naman, one, that produce stupor, complete insensibility or loss of feeling. Ayan, mga Demerol and cocaine, narcotics. Sinabi natin neurotics, one, that act chiefly on the nervous system, producing delirium, convulsion, and respiration and the outstanding symptoms. Yan ay mga example niya: alcohol, opium, strychnine. Tetanics, is a substance that act chiefly upon spinal column, producing spasmodic and continuous contraction of muscle as a result of stiffness and movement of the parts to which they are attached. Ayan, panindigas ay mga tetanics. Depressant or sedatives. Pag sinabi naman natin depressant or sedatives, agent that retards or depress that psychological action of an organ. Ang example yung nicotine and cocaine, mga depressant daw po sila o pampakalma. Asthenics and exhaustives, agent that produce exhaustion. Marked loss of vital molecular power, hydrochloric acid. Sakto kaya to sa 1 hour para maka 2 hour ako. Tapos mamaya alas 12 yung yung video ko again. Action, substance characterized by local action. Substance characterized by their action after absorption. Heavy metals and metalloids. Yan. Ito meron tayong nakalitaan yung asthenics or exhaustives. Agents that produce exhaustion, marked loss of vital molecular power, hydrocyanic acid. According to methods of isolation, meron din tayo rito. Volatile poisons are those isolated by distillation with or without current or steam. Non-volatile poison are those isolated by extraction of organic solvents. Yan, yung mga non-volatile poison daw ay yung mga kinuha mula sa organic solvents. Metallic poisons that are isolated by reflection. Mga metallic poison daw nahinuka sa reflection. Substance for which special method of isolation are required. Mahirap din talaga yung forensic. Daming term dito. 2 types of poisoning. Yan, may mga poisoning pala tayo. Actually, hindi siya 2 types, 3 types siya. Yan, dyan yung acute poisoning, parang action. Ibig sabihin, mahina pa yung effects. Subacute poisoning, cases of short duration and extreme violence. Yan. Short duration lang. Diba? Yung effects poisoning sa tao. Chronic poisoning, gradual deterioration of functionation. Ayan, diba? As a hour pass by, yan, mahirapan ng huminga, yan, sumasakit yung dibdib, yan yung chronic poisoning. poisoning. Kumbaga, gradual lang yung pagbaba ng function of tissues niya. Bawa, i-circulate yung dugo, yan, patagal, nagpa-paralyze, yan, ganyan yung tinatawag na chronic poisoning. Pag subacute poisoning, again, case short of duration lang. From legal point of view na to, accidental poisoning, ayan. Ano ba example ng accidental poisoning? O ako, kumari, bumili ako ng asukal pero binigay sa akin ng tendera, tawas pala, nilagay ko sa kape, which is lason pala, accidental, hindi ko sinasadya. Suicidal poisoning, yan, gusto ko na mamatay, diba? O ginawa, bumili ako ng panlinis ng silver, ininom ko, yan, namatay ako. Suicidal poisoning. Note, pag may assistance, kung sino man bumili o diba, nagturo sa'yo kung ano ba yung dapat mong inumin para sa lason, that is considered our the assistance to commit suicide. Meron po silang penalty under revised penal code. Homicidal poisoning, ayan, pinatay kang tao with the use of poison, bawa, ayan, sa alak, kiselos ka sa lalaki na yun, tapos kinropa mo siya kasi mag-discard, kasi ayun na yung way para mahintong yung paghinga niya. Ginawa mo, nakapag-dropa sa kanya, nilason, yan, para hindi niya maagos yung iniirog mo. Yan, tawag na homicidal poisoning. Sinabi namang undetermined, ibig sabihin hindi pa natutuklasan kung anong nangyari. Action of poison. Dito na tayo sa action of poison.